In this video, I'm going to cover how to create an orthographic projection and a 3D object in SketchUp. So what I'll be doing here is just covering the first block in your assignment over to the left-hand side. You should recognize this. And in SketchUp, what you should do is follow along and make sure you open up your construction documentation millimeters template. Everything will be in millimeters, and as you probably read on the assignment, since there are no dimensions given to you, we are going to assume that each of these blocks are 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters. So the first thing I want you to do that's very crucial is click on the front view. So hopefully you have the views toolbar selected. When you click on front, we want to create everything in this top right hand corner. So I'm going to use my pan tool and just kind of move this over. As long as everything is in between the blue and the red axis, we'll be fine. And what we'll do to start off with is we'll start by doing the orthographic projection somewhere down in this left hand corner. So as you've created this already with pencil, it'll just be kind of a recreation using the computer software. So with an orthographic projection, what I like to do is start off by drawing the front view first. So on the front view of this guy, we know that's this one right here. So the front view, pretty easy to draw using our line tool in SketchUp. We'll just go up 10, over 20, up 10, over 30, down 20, and then back over 50. So hopefully I didn't confuse you too much there. So in SketchUp, use your line tool, and I'll start somewhere down here. So I'll actually, click again, sorry. Up 10. And if it creates it really small, you can use your scroll wheel to zoom in. You want to make sure you're zoomed in nice and close. Over 20. Up 10. Over 30. Down 20. And then close it off. So what you'll see here is your front view is created, and now we have to make sure that we're following the proper rules of orthographic projections when we create the top and the right side view. So if you recall from the lesson that the space in between the views, so in between those two and like so as I'm drawing, those have to equal the same. Okay, so that number, it doesn't really matter what you choose, but I'll give you a recommendation, and we'll use 20 millimeters. So using the tape measure tool now, this is a very handy tool, I want you to click on the top of your front view and go up 20, press enter, and from the very right side of the front view, go over 20. Now we'll know our starting points for our next two views. So if we create the right side view next, I can use my line tool. And I guess the other crucial part is the views have to line up. So the bottom of the front view has to line up with the bottom of the right side view. So as you can see there, I'm using the hover technique. So hovering over the end point and then going over to my tape measure line. Once it shows up in red, I can click once. And now I can start creating my right side view. So if I look over to the left again, I know that it's 30 millimeters. And then the height is 20. And then now I can just use the tape measure as a reference point and complete my rectangle. And then I can also create the middle line of the right side view, right there. So that's right in the middle. I can go up 10 millimeters, or I can use my front view as a reference and go over like that and complete like so. And lastly, when we create the top view, we can reference the top left hand side of the front view, go up to our tape measure line, click once, and then start drawing. And it is 30 millimeters by 50. Close that off. And then we also know that it is we can reference this line down here and go up and create our last line. So that's how you create the orthographic projection. And if you can, again, you can use the tape measure tool a lot more than I did too, especially on more of the complicated drawings. But this is the basic process I want you to follow when creating these in SketchUp.